So James, for me, when I've come to visit you, I've only really met with you, and obviously with you, Sue, at one point. So for me, what I want to know, and I want you to let other people know, what is it like from a parent's point of view when you're parenting as a single parent, but you're co-parenting as well, obviously, because with Keith, he'll go and visit his mum.
I think the most important part is no matter what, is to, from the time you have your child, you immediately, that's your situation, that you need to separate it, that is your world.
Yeah.
So you need to make it fun. You need to show them that from the time they're in the car, even if it's for a trip, a trip across town, picking the child up, that's your fun time. Make it your fun time. Make it your environment. Make it an environment for them to feel safe in, even if it's in a car, even if it's even if you're waiting to drop them off. Don't let them dwell on this angst of the swap over, because there will be angst because they're transitioning from one environment to the next environment. The important part is to make your environment consistent for them, so when they know they're with you, they know exactly where they stand and what to expect. So that way, when it happens, they're not going to be anxious, worrying, well, where am I going to, what's going to, how's this going to, and it will be rough the first couple of times for any parent going through it. The routine of it, they will adopt the routine. Even if everything else in their life is blown out, nothing is in a routine. If you are the routine, they will acknowledge it.
And when they come to you, they know what your routine is well.
Right.
They'll go to mum, they know what mum's routine is.
That's exactly right.
They feel comfortable with you.
Don't jellyfish parent and just try and mould to the best things, the most fun things they want. Consistency. Wake up, breakfast, shower, go to bed. These consistent things. That is what they're seeking. They're actually seeking that because it's the set rules that they're looking for.
And you're right, because children like boundaries.
Yes.
They push them.
Yep.
Damn right they push them.
Yep.
But they're pushing them to make sure that those
they're
boundaries are there, as opposed to pushing them
to
necessarily make you move.
I don't think that's very different for autistic little people. I think they all will do that.
Yeah.
And once again, routine on the way that you do things, routine on the way that you treat them, routine on the way that you do bedtimes, breakfast. That is the important part of co-parenting. It's just routine.
And I think if you are in the lucky position and you can, communication between parents is always good. But it doesn't always happen that way. So And you, so have you found it?
I've
obviously it's
it
more
was
around
I
James,
found it I found it difficult from a grandparent's perspective when I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but you can edit it out if you want.
You might.
But it was when the children were residing primarily with their mother and they would visit their dad. I found it difficult because their time with dad was limited, and so it meant that my time as a nana was very, very limited. And I had been used to seeing my grandchildren 3, 4, 5 times a week. I would just pop in on the way home from work or whatever to say hi, and that disappeared. And then the times that we did get to see them, we had them for a weekend, 1 weekend a month, and so that was for their dad. So it's difficult.
It is, and I think that we need to be aware of the fact that for a lot of families, they either are going to live majority with mum and visit dad occasionally, or vice versa. So whatever it is for you as a family, you need to make it work, and you need to keep, like you said, James, keep those routines, keep it so that when they are with you, it works.
But we know that with having an ASD grandson, for him, consistency, and so that he knows what to expect. And I know a funny little story. My mother, his great-grandmother, whenever she comes to visit, she always brings fruit for the children as a little treat. And so that was the thing, was he knew he'd come to visit Dad, and then Nana and Gran would come and visit and bring fruit. And that was his thing.
Yeah. That's great.
It's just consistency and routine and just being regular. That way they know exactly what to expect. That way, they may learn to love it, they may learn to dislike it, but the point is that at least they know exactly what they're in for. And for them, they don't understand what they're in for 90% of the time with the way the world goes.
No.
So
Yeah.
giving them
Half the
something
time,
consistent.
nor do we.
Exactly. So giving them something that's rock solid is always going to be their good foundation for the way they are and how calm and how good they are. You know, in terms of on their level, they can be blown out by seeing something that's upsetting outside the window or on TV or something that we take for granted.
Yeah.
And so you've really, I just can't stress that enough, consistency and patience.
Perfect. Okay.